Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So we are starting in next 5 minutes. Sir, are you there, Dr. Deepak?
Yes, good afternoon. I have just joined.
Yes, please allow us a couple of minutes more, 2-3 minutes, so that the more and more participants are joining us, so that we can start in next
Sure.
3 or 4 minutes. Thank you.
Not an issue.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Before we start, so I'd like to give a brief about our guest speaker today. I'd like to give a brief introduction about sir. So before
I'm
moving
very
ahead in the
sorry, sir,
session,
but the
yeah,
voice
please
is
allow
very
me a
low.
moment.
I'm unable to hear that.
Yes, sir is Dr. Deepak Pandey. Yeah. Am I audible, sir?
Sir, now you are a bit audible, sir. Voice is little low, sir. I'm little
All right.
unclear.
All right. So for today, our guest speaker is Dr. Deepak Pandey. Yeah, he is currently the associate professor with Faculty of Commerce and Management at SGT University, Gurugram. Sir has done his PhD from LPU and MBA from Army Institute of Management and BSc from Magad University and schooling from KVS. Sir is passionate about academics and research. The areas which excite Sir are the business sustainability and consumer behavior. Sir has the 17 years of long experience of his career. His industry tenure includes 9 years of sales and marketing experience with MNCs in financial services and software products and services domain. So after industry, Sir ventured into academics and has 8 years of experience in academics, which majorly includes teaching marketing courses, international business, business sustainability, and strategic management. Along with that, he keeps himself engaged in research work. He has published more than 12 research papers in peer-reviewed journals indexed in Scopus, ABDC, UGC. He has 2 patents. He has attended 28 FDPs and workshops. He has presented 7 research papers. So we welcome Sir at City University. Sir, we welcome you and would request you to please go ahead with the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I would like to thanks first the administrative team of City University, all the academicians present, and the students. So the session which I'm going to take, it will be a very short session, and the session which the topic is market segmentation for market validation. So as it was just shared about me that I'm a professor of marketing, and I am taking up this specialization from last over 9 years or so. So I hope this slide is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So market segmentation, I will first take up. So segmentation, as we understand that it is actually dividing the customers into some small groups. These groups are normally homogeneous in nature. The small groups and the subsets are normally homogeneous in nature, and the entire market is actually divided into different segments. I'll take up example also about what is segmentation and how do marketers divide this segment, and how does this segment actually help the marketers or the companies or the industry. And according to these segments, they actually target their set of customers. So in marketing, what happens is that the segmentation is actually a process of dividing the broad consumer base of business market normally into small groups or subgroups. So this is what is called generally market segmentation. What happened normally in segmentation is that there are broadly 4 types of segmentations which are there, right? Namely, first is a geographic segmentation. Second is a psychographic segmentation. Third is demographic segmentation. And the fourth one is behavioral segmentation. All 4 types of segmentation are very important and very vital in terms of targeting a specific target segment by any marketer. Normally companies, before launching their business, before launching a new product into the market or any new service into the market, they try to see that which are those set of customers which will be beneficial for them to generate most of the revenue. So normally, if suppose the product is also a mass product, then also every type of customer or every type of segment does not go and buy those type of product or service. So normally we say in marketing that 80% of the revenue actually come from the 20% of the specific customer segment. So as we discussed, there are four types of segments. So first is a geographic segment. What happened in geographic segment is that it actually consists of creating different groups of customers which are based on geographic boundaries. As we all know that the customer which are in the developed countries behave completely different than the customers which are there in underdeveloped countries or maybe in emerging economies. Like if you talk about developing economies, India, Africa, and some portion of Africa and some other countries are actually growing very fast. But then our customers behave little different to the same product, but the customers which come from the mature nation or the developed economy, like maybe the European countries or the Americas, behave little different. So geographic boundaries have a different kind of, on the basis of geographic boundaries, we do a different kind of segmentation. Second is our demographic segmentation, which is actually done by dividing the customers on the basis of age, gender, income, etc. So what happened is that lower middle class customer, in terms of income, lower middle class customers behave little different. They go for a little different kind of hobbies. They read a little different books or a content. They look for the sources of entertainment which are little different in nature. Similarly, the different age groups people fall. So according to their age group, the segmentation is done. I have few examples for this, which I'll explain in the going forward in some more slides. The third is a psychographic segmentation. What happened is that in this segmentation, the customers are actually divided into on the basis of their lifestyle, attitude, or interest. So interest of different class of people may vary, right? So few people can go out and play golf, but then some of the people would like to play cricket. Some might like to play or do some workout or some other kind of outdoor activities. So a different group of people go for different kind of interest areas, or their hobbies may differ. Similarly, attitude of the people also differ. So this is the third level of segmentation, which is called psychographic segmentation. The fourth one is behavioral segmentation, which actually depends on how the customers behave while doing some act. Maybe in the case of marketing, we say that while in the purchase behavior, the customer behave little different, right? So different kind of a segment of customer behave little differently. I'll take up one by one all four example. If we see a practical example of McDonald's burger, right? So how geographic segmentation they have done, if you can see in this ad, they launched their burger in India in a different manner, right? Their burgers in America are little different. Their burgers in developed countries are little different. They used to, their major source of revenue was from maybe the hamburger or some other variants of burger, which was available in America initially. But once they launched their product in India, they started with, they tried to launch the same hamburger over here. But then acceptability in Indian culture of a beef kind of a content is little lower. So their hamburger got flopped in India, and then they tried to venture with the help of aloo tikki burger and a variant of egg. So they understood that Indian people are fond of potatoes. So they keep potatoes in every kind of a vegetable in India, and or more or less every kind of cuisine. We have some little or more potatoes in there. Right, so they launched their potato-based variant, and then that variant was very, very successful. You can see in this ad also, they say that this Indian burger is filled with, this is truly Indian because it is handpicked, it contains the handpicked ingredients from across India. So its spices are included from across India. So geographic segmentation is done in a little different manner. Every different geography actually behave little differently. So the customer segment fall in that geography, fall in that country, behave little differently. But in that specific geography, they are homogeneous in nature. It means they are same in nature. So Indian customer behave in a similar pattern, and customer in US behave in a similar pattern. But the customer in US and the customer in India will behave differently if we compare each other. So that is first one, which is geographic segmentation. The second one is demographic segmentation. What happens in demographic segmentation is that if you see that what happened is that same company which are making chocolates, right? So they have a different kind of chocolates for different set of customers. So in demographic, if we consider about the age, so Kinder Joy is a chocolate which is launched for boys and girls, both the gender, but then this was launched for a specific set of customers. So a small kids which fall in an age group of 3 to 8 or 9 years kind of a segment. So these are those age group of segments which like this chocolate, which is Kinder Joy. But then we have seen on ads that Dairy Milk Silk variant is launched for a younger generation of people. So all those television ads and ads which are available on YouTube about Dairy Milk Silk, we see that these are focused and targeted for the younger generation. So one side Silk is targeting a younger generation of people, and other side Kinder Joy is targeting the kids. Right? So chocolate is same. Maybe the composition or the ingredient of the chocolates are also same, but then still we launch these chocolate for a different type of age group of people, and that's how the segmentation happens. So this is one example of demographic segmentation where age-wise segmentation differs for the same product, which is a chocolate. The third is we say if we talk about luxury or sporty car segment. So you see example of Tesla or any other company, maybe Porsche or any other company. They've launched their cars, right? So this psychographic segmentation depends upon the interest areas, maybe on hobbies, or maybe the lifestyle. So different lifestyle people, the people who carry or follow different kind of a lifestyle or a particular kind of a lifestyle, basically go for a particular kind of a car. We see the ads of the sports car or a business or maybe the luxury car, and normally comes on the business news channels. We see these ads on a business magazines also. We don't see on a daily soap serials these ads in a daily soap serials. So this segment are basically done on the basis of interest. So the people who are watching this business news channel actually are the main customer or that set of customers which are looking for these luxury cars for this specific segment of cars. So that is why these ads are also posted over there and launched over there. And this psychographic segmentation is done basically purely on that segment, which falls on a similar kind of interest, but then they're a little different than the normal mass. So luxury car in one example, and similarly, a sports car is another one example where you see the people who are who interest actually falls in sports or outdoor activities. They actually love buying sports car. The people who love the speed, the people who go for the people who are little aggressive in nature and love for speed is there. So these people go for a sports kind of a car. So psychographic segmentation is done basically on those kind of people who fall or follow a specific kind of interest. So that is psychographic segmentation. The last or the fourth segmentation is behavioral segmentation. What happened in behavioral segmentation is that we have seen a phase of a behavioral shift, which we have seen one decade ago, 10 years ago or 20 years ago, we used to see that the satellite channels was there. So on the left picture, you can see that Star Plus, Disney, Sony, Colors, movies now. These are those channels which were very, very popular, maybe around one decade ago or 6, 7 years ago. So people were fond of spending time watching the satellite TV channel. More than 200 channels were available. People used to switch the channels and they used to watch different kind of maybe show, serials, movies, sports, and maybe other kind of things on those channels. But then we have seen a specific behavioral shift once this OTT platforms come into picture. So the right side of picture, which you see that same smart television is these days is being used to watch the OTT platforms, maybe Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hotstar, Aeros now, Voot. So any OTT platform, people started spending more of time on these OTT platform if it comes off for looking for the entertainment or watching some movies or maybe some web series. So the source of entertainment is shifting very fast in last 5, 6 years from the satellite television mode to the OTT platform. The carrier may vary. Few people watch it on mobile phone, few on laptop, and few on television. But then we have seen this behavioral shift. So this segmentation is totally different. This behavioral segmentation is totally different. And now these marketers understand that the people have shifted their interest area from the satellite television to the OTT platform. That is why we see that these days movies are also launched. New movies are also launched on this OTT platform exclusively, rather than going for the multiplexes and all. So this is one behavioral shift. The other behavioral segmentation which we have seen in past last decade is that we used to go for shopping on the weekend or maybe in the evening, and in the big supermarket, hypermarket, and the malls. We used to carry this cart, and then we used to pick up lots of products which were useful from the grocery segment, from the other segments. And so these were the offline kind of a shopping which people used to do, conventional shopping method. From the conventional shopping method, people have shifted these days to online shopping. So last 10 years, in this decade only, we have seen this shift again in the behavior of people, where customers are not specifically going into the mall, rather they are preferring to buy products from their own houses or offices using their mobile phones or laptops or any other gadget, and shopping these days from these kind of websites which are Amazon, maybe Amazon or Flipkart or eBay or Shopclose or Myntra, any website. So because convenience is a factor which come into play, and they guarantee the smooth return of the product, exchange of the product, the return of the money also. So the shopping kind of a behavior got simplified by these organizations, and that is why we see that there is a behavioral shift which happened. So these are the four basic segmentation which we have seen in the last decade, which happened in marketing area. For validating, all these four types of market segmentation are actually used in market validation. What happened in this market validation process is that what is market validation? We need to understand first. So it is actually a process of determining a need for your product in the target market. So you actually validate, an organization can validate their business idea, and they can see that whether people will go for their product or service or not. So as a new entrant, as a new company, you want to launch some product, or you want to launch your company with one specific product or service, you always want to validate or try to check that whether people will like our product or not. And for that, there are various kind of approaches which are there. Organization do test marketing, pilot study, beta testing. So there are various kind of instrument which normally industry follow for market validation. I have a very beautiful example for this, which we use as a case study in teaching our management student. Kellogg, what happened is that when they launched their cornflakes and others breakfast cereals in India in 1994, they were little spectacle about their product launch here in India, because before 1994, Indian people used to have, North Indian used to have parathas and chapatis in the breakfast, and South Indian people used to have their South Indian dishes like idli or vada or dosa kind of a thing in the breakfast. So the companies like Kellogg were very, very confused, and then they were looking for that whether the Indian people will go for this Kellogg kind of a conflicts kind of a thing or not. But then they got a confidence from the example of Dalia, which we used to have. And since old ages, we used to have in our breakfast. So they got a confidence from there, and then they launched this cornflakes. Initially with a small hiccups, but then they once it was a time that they thought that their product which failed will actually fail in the Indian market, but then after some time they launched, they changed the variants and then everything, and then we see there are various kind of products which are available here. So including cornflakes to muesli to nuts, various kinds of oats and all, which are available for the as a breakfast. So this is one market validation which was done by the Kellogg. So we have seen that different kind of, and they use this market segmentation for that. They thought that who are those people who will have their Kellogg's cornflakes in the breakfast. So they realized that these the people will be maybe the office goers, or maybe the kids which are going to the school, and in the morning they are in rush and they have very less time. So they will prefer having this breakfast in the morning, where they don't have to spend a lot of time in eating breakfast. So one side they're getting ready, and then other side quickly they can have this breakfast and then move for their offices or maybe for the school, and then they got successful. So this is how the validation of market is done, by segmenting and targeting a particular kind of a target segment, and that is how these things follow. So with this example, I would like to end my session over here, and I would like to thanks City University for giving me this opportunity for listening to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deepak Pandey ji. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time. Sorry, I joined late and I was in some meeting. So that's why I missed one of the fruitful session, some part of that session. But I still got some part of the session that is about the Kellogg example. I still remember that we already had discussed the same example many years back in the staff room when we were together.
Yes, sir.
And it was really a wonderful session for our student as well as for all the participants. And from the entire City University, I would once again thank you, Dr. Deepak Pandey, for their valuable time. And I request the IT department also to please share the certificate of participation also.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Nikhil Monga, for inviting me and appreciating my effort. Thank you so much, sir.
And I wish that we'll have many more sessions and more similar kind of association related to academics in future also.
Surely, sir. We can do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Pandey ji.
Sir, yeah. Dr. Saab, one more thing I want to tell you is that we would be sharing the award of appreciation over the email, जो आपका official email हमारे पास है, so we'll be sharing that with you again. So we again from the university's management side, we really thank you and for sparing your valuable time. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.